Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel called zuzanareacts, where I learn all things Bharat with your help, and I just share my Slovak Central European point of view. And in today's video we're going to follow up on the video that I've done before. I'll try to link it up here, about European countries investing in India. And apparently this deal has now been signed. I think I've seen it somewhere on the news. So I wanted to explore a bit more what is going to actually happen as a result. But before we jump into today's video,
please like this video and click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you so much for your support.
This is a video by your favorite, Major Arya, and mine now. So let's look at it together.
Jain friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. It's a path breaker for India because this is a free trade agreement that India has signed with a group of 4 European countries, all of them. These 2 countries, Ukraine and Finland, join the NATO, which means you will have NATO tanks, NATO artillery, NATO guns right there at Russia's throat. And Russia will never permit that.
How's that relevant?
The European Free Trade Association has signed a $100 billion investment deal with India. And what does this deal entail? Basically, a group of 4 countries who have said that they will invest $100 billion over a period of 15 years in India. And this will be in a lot of categories. I'm going to tell you the details of this deal. It's a path breaker for India because this is a free trade agreement that India has signed with a group of 4 European countries, all of them first world, all of them very wealthy, all of them having sufficient funds to park in India into various schemes. I'll discuss more of that later. Now, to tell you the specifics, ladies and gentlemen, India and the European Free Trade Association on Sunday, that is yesterday, signed a landmark deal, trade and economic partnership agreement to open up the EFTA markets for Indian businesses and the Indian markets for the EFTA. So it's a two-way thing. And they say that the EFTA countries, we'll tell you which these countries are in due course of time. The EFTA countries have committed to invest $100 billion in India. As I mentioned before, $100 billion will be invested in India over a period of 15 years. This is fantastic. The EFTA comprises Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Switzerland. So these are 4 countries, I repeat: Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Switzerland.
It's Liechtenstein. So funny.
Switzerland, these 4 countries, and these 4 countries have said that we are signing this deal, we are keen to invest into India. Now, the Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister Modi, has in a written statement said that this is a watershed moment, for India and the EFTA countries, and the historic first free trade agreement inked with a binding commitment to invest $100 billion. This is what it is. It's in written. It is binding. Now, they have agreed and they will have to invest $100 billion in India. Where are they going to invest this money, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
Now, before I tell you that, let me tell you the past.
Huh?
What has been happening so far. India has exported, and these are export and import data. I'm trying to bring out the trade imbalance, actually. To tell you the truth, the trade imbalance between these 2 blocks. So, in the financial year 2022-2023, in 1 year, India exported $1.9 billion worth of goods to EFTA. 1.9, close to $2 billion worth of goods to EFTA. But India imported $16.7 billion worth of goods from EFTA. Okay. So there is a trade deficit at roughly $14.8 billion for the financial year 22-23. Now, this is massive. And most of it is from one country, that is Switzerland, India's largest trading partner. Within EFTA, Switzerland, India's export to the country stood at 1.3 billion, while imports stood at 15.7. This is in the same year, 2022-23. So,
what are you guys getting out of that? I am just dying to know now.
15.7 billion we imported from Switzerland. I don't know what we're importing from Switzerland. Apart from chocolates, I don't know, chocolates and cheese. Unless Indians are eating $15 billion worth of cheese, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe Swiss watches, maybe luxury items. What else? I don't know what Switzerland is famous for or known for. Swiss Army knives, Swiss military gear. What else could Indians be buying? Write in the comments column.
I don't know if it's what. No, I don't know. Like apparently from watches, I think watches, and I think there is a lot of like diamonds brands there as well. I think it's Swiss. Yeah, not 100% sure.
love to hear from you. And there are 14 chapters in this entire agreement, and this include government procurement. So I think this is going to be a big one. This is going to be the big one: government procurement, government to government. EFTA and the Indian governments, they signed a pact, and they say government to government we will trade. That's going to be a big one. Investment promotion and cooperation, trade in services, trade remedies, sanitary conditions, trade in goods, and protection of intellectual property. So these are the things that they're going to look into. And Helene Budliger Artida. Helene Budliger Artida. She is the State Secretary for Economic Affairs, and she said that India will be the world's premier manufacturing and service hub. I'll come to a little more of that later. Now, this calls for a slightly detailed explainer. I'm just reading off the research right now, but I'll be back in a minute to explain after I tell you all of this. And she said that it's a massive moment of joy for us. We've been negotiating this agreement for more than 16 years now.
Oh, okay.
And today is a day for the history books. Norway's trade minister, his name is Jean Christian Vestre. He says today is a day for the history books because what we have created today is tremendous. Now, this is for data and the comments, etc. Now you've heard. Now, what exactly is happening in India? Why are people coming and investing in India? Ladies and gentlemen, the top 5 economies of the world, India is at number 5. They're not doing very well, apart from India. So you look at the United States of America, not doing very well. China, not doing very well. Japan, the economy is contracting, it's under recession. Japan, economy is contracting, they are under recession. Where does a person, actually invest? Now, here's the thing. India has, I think, the second or the third largest bunch of innovators, right? Best of the best startups in the world. Also, I'm talking about 100 unicorns last year. I'm talking about that is $100 billion. If you take one unicorn to be $1 billion, these are more than 100 unicorns last year. So this is why people want to invest also. A lot of Pakistanis, I'll have to come back to Pakistan on this one. I think I'll be able to explain more easily. A lot of Pakistanis seem to think that the reason why people invest in India is because of political stability. And they seem to think that if they also have political stability, people will start investing in Pakistan. They also say that people invest in India because investments in India are safe. And people don't invest in Pakistan because investments in Pakistan are not safe. While that may be true, that is not the only reason, and I will explain why. Friends, investment has one goal: return on investment. It's called ROI. And any businessman, anybody who studied commerce or economics or has done his MBA would know the simple fact. You need return on investment. If you invest $1, you need 2 or you need 10, depends upon what your targets are, right? The problem with Pakistan here is, and I'm saying Pakistan because a lot of Pakistanis have commented on this agreement, and they've been commenting on whenever India gets a large investments, there are Pakistanis commenting that, hey, and these are all positive comments. They're just trying to figure out what is wrong with their country. And what they often end up saying is that, wish we were also politically stable. Wish we also had political stability where people would feel safe in parking their funds. That part is not untrue. So I would not say that the Pakistanis are saying anything wrong, but here is a catch. As I said, ROI. You see, people are willing to invest. There are people who invest and who are big risk takers. And people invest in Central African countries also, where there has been civil war going on for decades. North African countries that are not very politically stable. People have been investing in West Africa, East Africa, all these countries. There are so many countries. I think 55 countries in the African Union, and people have been investing in these countries and getting returns because they have an appetite for risk taking. It all depends what you wish to do. Oil, diamonds, minerals. Most of these places that have oil, apart from the Arab countries, okay? You can leave the Arab countries out of this, but most of the countries are notoriously unstable. They have regimes which are not very transparent, right? For example, Venezuela, for example, Iran. There are so many other countries apart from non-Arab countries which have oil, which are, you don't know what's happening there. Yet people want to get around sanctions and invest. People want to do that because they feel they can make money. The problem with investment in Pakistan is that it does not matter. See, Pakistan has had periods of economic stability. Like, for example, under Pervez Musharraf, he was the boss of Pakistan for 10 years. Was Pakistan stable? Sure. Pakistan was stable under Ziaul Haq. Pakistan was stable under Yahya Khan or under Ayub Khan, all these military dictators. They ruled for 10 years each, if I'm not mistaken. At least Pervez Musharraf ruled for more than 10 years, and Ziaul Haq ruled for more than 10 years. That was political stability. You might not have had elections, you might not have had democracy, but you had stability of the political kind. There was one ruler, there was no change in government, and all the power, it was all single window. It came from one individual, and the country did whatever that person wanted the country to do. Did Pakistan's economy improve? No, Pakistan's economy has been traditionally dependent upon loans and grants. I think Pakistanis need to understand. You know, they often end up saying that, why are Muslim countries investing in India? They should invest in us because we are Muslims and they are. It does not work like that. I would like Pakistanis to go to a Pakistani Muslim shopkeeper. You're a Muslim, he's a Muslim. Go to a shopkeeper and say, give me this at 50% discount because you're a Muslim and I'm a Muslim. Say that, give me this at a discount or free of cost because you're a Muslim and I'm a Muslim. Will it work that way? No. You will not be able to do it in your own streets, in your own neighborhood. Why do you expect nations to behave like that? It does not happen like everybody is looking at ROI. ROI, ladies and gentlemen, is the mantra, which I want our Pakistani friends to understand. This entire deal, this, European Free Trade Association, EFTA deal, what is it all about? It's all about ROI. It's all about willingness to believe in the India story and saying that we'll invest 100 billion and we'll get back 200 billion. This is beyond just political stability. This is about reputation. This is about track record. This is about belief in the Indian way of doing business. This is what this $100 billion is about.
Okay, so I did not expect this to be a lot about Pakistan. And I kind of had hoped to know what exactly is part of that agreement, which hasn't been covered, which is a bit shame. But I think personally, to his point, I mean, it's been 16 years in making, apparently. Interesting. They must see some opportunities, right? And I think over the last decade, India has proven for the West like a very effective way of outsourcing services. And even though like we are here and I don't know a single person that is happy with, and we discussed this in another video, is actually happy when companies here outsource to India because the quality of work we get back, it's not expected, and then we have to work double to fix it. That is, and like honestly, I don't know. I've talked to a few people about this, and no one has super positive experience. But nonetheless, clearly it is working because otherwise people would not be investing and using that. So I think it's working from the point of view that, you get incremental improvements year on year from the people. I think we talked about in another video how, perhaps there's different talent working for different types of companies, etc. And especially like in IT sector, people want to just move quick, and sometimes it might be very hard to, get stable talent even in India. Which then disrupts the operations and kind of service levels. So that's kind of that. But I think without knowing that India can deliver, and I think political stability is definitely a major factor. That your money is also safe there, and I wonder what will happen actually, like once this starts being fulfilled, what, you know, how the countries, like how it will benefit to Liechtenstein or Norway or Switzerland. I wonder what Switzerland does. I mean, if any of you know what they export to India, please do let me know in the comments below, because he didn't say that, he didn't know. And yeah, I would just wonder what kind of goods are you going to get. But it looks like there's also services that they want to offshore to India, which is perhaps part of that deal. So it's very, very very interesting. But knowing that you have stable government, knowing that your money is safe, it's huge, right? Like as he's mentioned, like you have to, if you know you can get an ROI. And I think not everyone can be a business owner. I think it's or a startup owner or what have you, because it does take a certain level of being okay with the risk. And you know, if it all goes in shambles, what your life is going to be like. So but certainly we are here to and you know, as in like exchanging services, we're here to do business, right? So you have to have an ROI. Without that, you will you know, you're running a charity and just begging for donations, which I think some charities have a lot. But you know, the purpose of business is to actually make money and grow. So I think they've seen a lot of opportunities in it. What is interesting for me is that it's been 16 years in making. I don't know if any of you know more about this deal, but I'm wondering why these 4 countries and 16 years. Like they must have seen opportunities 16 years ago where I would have seen kind of like around now, I would say around decade ago, everyone started to offshore to India. So I wonder, like, yeah, what they're actually going to do in India. And if any of you is aware, please do let me know in the comments below. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video with me. If you did enjoy it, please give a thumbs up, share, like, and subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you next one. Until then, please do take care. I'm sending much love. Bye-bye.